This is the first session in the Writing Assessment Series presented by the Oregon Department of Education, which focuses on examining Claim 2 writing, writing performance tasks, and condition codes. Session 1. Understanding Claim 2 writing and the ELA performance task. The Writing Assessment Series includes the following 3 sessions. The focus during this session will be understanding Claim 2 writing and the ELA performance task included in the Oregon Statewide Summative Assessment for English Language Arts. The following table includes information on the overall performance for the English Language Arts Oregon Statewide Summative Assessment by grade during the 2018-2019 administration year. The middle column contains the overall percent of students identified as proficient on the Oregon Statewide Summative Assessment for English Language Arts in 2018-2019. The third column provides the percent of students identified as proficient by looking at only Claim 2 writing on the Oregon Statewide Summative Assessment for English Language Arts in 2018-2019. When examining the table in grades 3, 4, and 5, the percent of students identified as proficient on Claim 2 writing is slightly lower than the percent of students identified proficient on the overall ELA composite score. One contributing factor that will be explored in the Writing Assessment Series will be the impact of condition codes being assigned to students during the scoring process on the ELA performance task. It is important to note Claim 2 writing scores contribute to the overall ELA composite score. The following definition and table provide additional background information on the topic of condition codes associated with the ELA performance task, which is included in Claim 2 writing. If a student writing sample receives a condition code as identified in the Smarter Balanced Hand Scoring rules, this results in a default 0 score in all measured writing components of the ELA performance task. The following table provides the percent of students that received a condition code score on the ELA performance task and thus scored a 0 in all domains of the ELA performance task. Statewide, the overall percent of students who received a condition code on the ELA performance task was identified at 20.5%, with the highest percentages of condition codes being assigned at grade 3 and grade 4. As noted in the previous slide, grades 3, 4, and 5 had a Claim 2 writing percentage of students demonstrating proficiency that was slightly lower than the percent of students demonstrating overall ELA proficiency. It is important to understand the overall design of the ELA Oregon Statewide Summative Assessment, which is based on the 4 following claims: Claim 1 reading, Claim 2 writing, Claim 3 listening, and Claim 4 research. The focus of this session is on Claim 2 writing. Claim 2 writing is comprised of items from the ELA Computer Adaptive Test, or CAT, which are machine-scored items, and the Writing Extended Response, or full write, from the ELA performance task, which is a human-scored item. This session will focus on the ELA performance task. To understand how condition codes impact Claim 2 writing scores, it is important to understand what is the ELA performance task. Performance task is any learning activity or assessment that asks students to perform in order to demonstrate their knowledge, understanding, and proficiency. The Oregon ELA performance task is also known as the Writing Extended Response, or full write, from the Oregon Statewide Summative Assessment, and requires students to integrate research from reading sources, which are to be included in a student's writing response. It is equally important to understand the characteristics of performance tasks to better support students during classroom instruction. Performance tasks require planning and managing information from a variety of sources and materials. Performance tasks involve extended responses. Specific to the Oregon Statewide Summative Assessment for English Language Arts, these responses are in the form of a writing extended response. Performance tasks are multi-stepped items and contain real-world scenarios. The ELA performance task on the Oregon Statewide Summative Assessment will include either a prompt or purpose type from narrative writing in grades 3 through 8, informational explanatory in grades 3 through high school, or opinion argumentative writing in grades 3 through high school. It is important to note there is no narrative writing performance task at the high school level. In addition, the writing extended response for the ELA performance task is scored on the following 3 domain traits: organization and purpose, evidence and elaboration, and conventions. Both organization and evidence are scored on 4-point scales, while conventions is scored on a 2-point scale. Organization and purpose includes skills like how well did you state your thesis, and how effective were your introduction and your conclusion. Evidence and elaboration includes skills like how well did you integrate information, and how well did you state ideas using precise language. Conventions include skills like punctuation, capitalization, and spelling. For more information and additional resources, please visit the English Language Arts Assessment webpage at www.oregon.gov/ODE or the Oregon Statewide Assessment Systems portal at www.osasportal.org. The ODE assessment team can be contacted by either visiting the ODE assessment webpage provided on the Oregon Department of Education website or emailing the ODE assessment support team at ode.asmt-team@ode.state.or.us. In the next session, we will further explore condition codes by types and causes. In addition, we will present some strategies to support instructional practices and student learning at the classroom level.